Right. This is exciting. How have you been doing? You doing okay? Yeah? By the way, I've got this really cool camera on the side thing going on as well, so better get used to that. Oh. Hello?
Just wanted to make sure I didn't fuck someone up. Can you talk?
Hello?
Louder.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry. Just got to make sure that that's on the left.
I don't know how to start this fucking video.
Hey YouTube.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Here's Adam, who's my little set designer, who decided to pimp my room.
Pimp my vlog. Bye!
Bye! Hi lovely teabags, welcome back to my channel. Blah, blah, blah. We're actually going to slow things down this week. We're actually going to have a cup of tea and actually do some talking, which was the main, ambition for this channel. I'm actually having a black tea today. It's a Yorkshire brew with some soy milk. I'm actually a Tetley girl, but I'm a little bit worried that they'll kick me out of Yorkshire if I tell them. I bought this new cup today from Cats Protection charity shop. It's got some really cute doodles on it, and it actually says the illustrator is called Russ Hudder. I'll see if I can find him online because I think he deserves some credit for these really cute cartoons. Today I want to talk about, can you cure a panic/anxiety attack? For anyone who hasn't really had either of them before, they're not pleasant. Panic attacks and anxiety attacks aren't always that well known about. You may have noticed that there was a TV show that was trending on Facebook. I can't remember what it's called now. I'll put it down here somewhere. And it was basically trending because it showed a man having an anxiety attack. I did find it quite fascinating, his portrayal. It was quite accurate. Not to my own personal attacks, but it was definitely relatable. And then I decided to do like a Google search and see what other TV programs out there have portrayals of panic/anxiety attacks, and I really struggled to find anything. I really found it fascinating that there really isn't that much media related information out there that kind of shows you what it can be like. And so for that reason I thought, why not make a video about it and share my experiences, blah 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 blah. Did you know that there's actually a difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack? I didn't, admittedly, until I did some research before this video. I used to flip between both words. If you're having a panic attack, that is linked to fear. It's linked to a direct threat. It's typically what people have if they're panicking because they think they're going to die, or because maybe someone else that they think is going to die from something. It's a panic. It's like your body fills with adrenaline. You can react in different ways because of that, understandably. Whereas an anxiety attack is a more vague threat. Doesn't mean it's any less scary, it just means that it's linked more to worry, and it's actually when cortisol is released through your body. You're worrying about something, but you're not quite sure what it is you should be worrying about. My first panic attack happened when I was 15 years old. So you may have noticed from my previous video, I'll put it here somewhere, right here, that I have a fear of not being able to breathe. It's not me exaggerating, it's pretty legit. It surprisingly affects different moments in my life. So for example, if I'm swimming and I'm going underwater, I'm always quite eager to get back up again because I'm like, I don't think my lungs will hold out that long, really. If I'm in bed and it's like a pretty cold night and I've got like the covers all around me and it's all nice and comfy, I can guarantee you that the whole rest of my body might be covered up, but my mouth or my nose needs to be outside of the covers so that I can get fresh, cool air to my lungs. Probably the most relatable one for a lot of you guys is that I'm really crap at swallowing pills and tablets. Like I just can't. It's not pretty. I just try and avoid it at all costs. So I was coming out of a chest cold, like the remnants of it, where you're well enough to like go out and do stuff, but you've got quite a lot of like phlegm and mucus and all of that to cough up, and it's a bit gross. And yeah, I'm sorry, this is gonna get a bit gross. I was walking to one of my classes in secondary school, and I wasn't walking with anyone at this point, and I just had one of those moments where your body just realizes that your windpipe is getting a little, or esophagus, or whatever it is getting a little bit clogged with mucus, and my body naturally wanted a cough. So I do a cough and it gets stuck here. That's right. it did get gross. I don't know if many of you guys have experienced this. I don't feel like I've ever heard anyone else say this before, so I'm really sorry if anyone is just like, this is dire, I don't want to listen to this, I'm gonna stop watching right now. I can laugh about it now, but in that moment, I'd never had a panic attack before, and I just froze in absolute fear. All that I was thinking of in my head was, it's stuck. I don't know what to do. I can breathe through my nose a tiny bit, but I can't get air in. But at that time, all I kept thinking of is, if I use the rest of my oxygen to cough now, if it doesn't move, I'm done for, I'm dead, I'm gone. So I was panicking, like, full blown, like, absolutely, like, I don't know if it was obvious or not, because it was all in here. As I said, I wasn't really with anyone at this point, walking to class. There was this girl ahead of me, and she's this girl that I've known for years and years. She was at my primary school as well, and we used to be a little bit close, but really not that much at all anymore. And she just noticed me. She turned around, and I don't know how she figured it out, and to this day I'm so grateful that she did, but she literally just came up to me and just, without even saying like, are you okay or whatever, she just went, do you want me to go get someone? And I just nodded my head like, and so she goes running up ahead, goes to get a teacher. I kind of rush behind her. Can I just add, how would I be able to like rush behind her if I didn't get air into my lungs? How could I do anything if I couldn't breathe? I was even speaking to my teacher. Again, couldn't speak if I couldn't breathe. Heather, come on now. And my teacher just instantly went, oh my god, she's having an asthma attack, and then just gives me a plastic wallet and is like, here you go, sit down, start breathing into it, because she didn't have a paper bag. Oh yeah, I start calming down and I can breathe again, and that was it. That was my first experience of a panic. Have I really been talking that long? Like, my tea's gone cold. So ever since that moment, I began getting hyper aware of my breathing. It was like I constantly couldn't get enough air to my lungs. I got myself stuck into this horrible cycle. I don't really understand how it jumped to this, but it just did. The whole secondary school would go into this big hall, and we'd all have class assembly, as many of you probably do. Everyone would be sat down, we all had to be quiet, we all had to listen to someone talk about God knows what. I started becoming a little bit too aware of my breathing and too worried. I began having panic attacks in class assembly. I actually think it might have been linked to that chest cold again. I think I was worried that the same thing would happen again, but this time in somewhere where I couldn't escape. The difference being that in the other situation, I could run, go get a teacher, sit down, calm down, be fine. All that was going through my head, no matter if I was talking to somebody, no matter if I was listening to the person on stage, all I kept thinking of was, what if I had a panic attack right now? I couldn't move, I can't escape. I know some of you would probably think, well, this is just silly, but in that moment all I kept thinking of was, if I have a panic attack and if I don't get help quick enough, if I can't breathe, I might die. Like, that just sadly is kind of what goes through your head when you're having a panic attack. I would get into assembly, worry that I was going to have a panic attack, and then guess what? You can guess what's happening. I didn't ever, thankfully, have a panic attack where everyone witnessed it. I managed to get away. Before assembly started, I would just be out of there. I'd just be like, can you move out the way? I don't feel well. I just need to go. You know, my friends would be like, are you okay? What are you doing? I'd be like panting. I'd just be like, yeah, fine, I'm fine. I'll just be out there. It's fine. Yeah, I'd get out there and I would go and see the nurse, and I'd explain to her that I was having a panic. I would be gasping and panting. I'd just be like that, and horrible feeling, like thinking that I couldn't get enough air to my lungs. Again, seems silly, but it's not. It happens to a lot of people. I'm just out of breath even thinking about it. I know it isn't a fake thing because I'm feeling anxious just thinking about it. This happened every single weekday morning. I would just be like, I don't want to go to assembly because if I get in there, I'm gonna panic and I'm gonna have to leave. And you know what I did? I took myself out of the situation and I skipped assembly for like a year. It took me a long time to get over the panic attacks. It might seem that, oh yeah, surely you got over them if you took yourself away from the situation, but it didn't work like that. Places where I felt like I couldn't escape. Cinemas were one. You know how you're like sat in a cinema and then the lights start like dimming? Every time it would dim, it would be like my heart would go, dun-dun! You can't leave now for 2 or 3 hours. And it was fine in the end. I don't think I've ever really had a panic during a cinema. I think there might have been a couple of times where I had to leave and step out for a few seconds to just calm down, and then I'd come back and I'd just be like, Heather, you're fine. Just go in, watch the film, you're missing a scene. Seemed a lot more fun than a class assembly, if we're being honest. I had the fear of having panic attacks for about 3 years. And so to answer the topic of this video, can panic attacks / anxiety attacks be cured? I don't really know the answer to that question. I don't feel comfortable giving an answer to that question. Before that video with the trains and all of that and missing their platform, I would have probably said, yeah, I'm cured. I don't get panic attacks anymore. But it was kind of like a reminder. It was like telling myself, no, in certain situations, you do get panicky, you do get anxious. And yeah, fine, we all get anxious, we all worry, we all fear things. But panic attacks and anxiety attacks is a lack of control. It's a lack of control of your mental state, your physical reactions to that. I wouldn't say that it's something you cure exactly. I'd say it's something you learn to control. I wouldn't have been able to cure the first signs of that anxiety attack on the train had I not gone through my panic attacks previously and learned how to combat that, how to control it. I thought I'd share with you how I stopped these panic attacks. I tried a variety of different things. I tried meditation and I tried distraction methods as well, which to some extent do work. The way that I learnt how to get over them was to firstly be super aware of what my mental state was like in those moments and how my body was reacting physically. So this can only be done through practice. And it obviously meant that I had to go through quite a lot of panic attacks to fully realise my own body and my own mental state. Thankfully, I was getting them so often that it didn't take me, relatively speaking, too long to figure out a system that worked for me. And I truly believe that for some of you, doing this for yourself, being more aware of what your body and mental state is doing in those moments, can help you figure out how to stop it. After figuring out what my brain and body is doing during panic attacks, I was able to split it into 5 steps. And this would start from step 1, which would be like, crap, I'm feeling a bit panicky, to step 5, which is full-blown panic attack, you're gonna panic, you think you're gonna die, I'm sorry. This is my panic attacks. They're all gonna be different for everybody, and it goes the same for anxiety attacks too. But here's what happens to me. Step 1. The first step is the threat. It's where I realise that I'm not feeling 100% comfortable. I'm in a situation where I feel like I can't escape easily. Now this, for me personally, this isn't the same as like a party or a social gathering. For me personally, the situations tend to be, I'm in a room full of people, we're all having to be quiet because we're about to listen to something. So if it's listening to a performance, play, watching a film, listening to somebody on stage, those typically are what trigger me off. So yeah, I know when it's step 1, when my brain kind of goes, oh, you're in a cool place right now, you're about to watch something, aren't you? Wouldn't it be really unfortunate if you had a panic attack right about now? So yeah, that's what happens mentally. Physically, the first sign is the pang of fear goes straight into my gut, like straight there, and my stomach starts creating more acid than it should. I figure, oh, right, okay, mental state's not 100% healthy right now. It's not quite controlled, but there's still time to control it. That is what is important, that I have to remind myself when I get to that step 1 is I kind of go, don't worry, Heather, we're gonna figure this out. You're still in step 1. You are still in control. You were just aware that you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable right now. That's fine. Step 2 is when I'm feeling a little bit less in control. My breathing pace increases. I start becoming a little bit more fidgety. Nowadays, this is as far as my panics get. They get to step 2 and I'm able to talk myself down. I have to tell myself, Heather, I know you're feeling a bit uneasy right now, but you're not going to be here for long, okay? Just try and enjoy yourself. Try and talk to whoever's next to you. Try and look on your phone, maybe go on Facebook if, you know, the show hasn't really started yet or whatever, and just try and relax. You're fine. Step 3. I've told myself to bugger off. I'm not listening to myself and I'm starting to become a bit irrational. I'm like, you know how your legs, your knees are there and your toes will be on the floor. You start kind of like bouncing your knee in a fidgety kind of nervous way. I start doing that. I start kind of like rubbing my hands against my legs a little bit to, you know, I don't know if it's because I'm trying to calm myself down or because I'm making it worse, I'm not sure. My hands start getting really clammy and I really struggle to leave my mental state. I try and distract myself, but it's not really working. This is where it becomes, because it's the middle state, it becomes very crucial that I need to really work on myself. Otherwise, I'm going to let it slip. The best way to get out of this state for me is to talk with other people. If I don't find it appropriate to start up a conversation with them, I'll try and listen to what they're talking about. I'm just trying to do anything that will stop me feeling that way. Even if it means getting up and going and leaving for a little bit to then come back. And like, I'm getting all like anxious just thinking about it. It's horrible. Step 4, I'm feeling super uneasy. I can't settle down and I just feel like I need to leave. I'm more aware of the fact that I'm letting it slip and I don't know what to do. I'm not thinking clearly. In this situation, I know now that I need to tell someone. This is the only way for me that I will feel safer, that I will be able to kind of take a step back, is if I kind of unburden myself a little bit, kind of sharing that I'm not feeling good mentally right now. So I just tell them, just to let you know, I'm feeling quite panicky right now. Or I try and make it into a joke or something like that. I can't tell you how much better I always feel after saying it. And I always feel a bit silly that I have just said it because I feel all of a sudden quite better. But yeah, it does depend on how they react, kind of. It's not me trying to say that it's in any way their fault for if I tend to feel worse. It's just that I basically need distracting. I don't mind talking about it to some extent, but I need to just kind of relax, not take things too seriously and just kind of joke about a little bit. That tends to make me feel better. Please don't feel ashamed of telling somebody. It's not embarrassing because, as I say, if you're like me, the feeling might kind of subside once you've told somebody. You'll be able to like grasp onto that like control of yourself again because you feel like, okay, it's not all in my head. I've shared it with someone and I can just work on calming down, but know that someone is there to like save me if I feel like it's all going terribly wrong. Which leads me on to step 5. Oh, this is really comfy. Okay. Step 5. Full-blown panic attack. There's no going back from step 5. Step 5 for me tends to be the whole panting, having to leave, feeling like I can't breathe, and I don't know what to do. I don't feel like I've got enough air to my lungs again, and I can get upset. I can cry, and I tend to tell people, as in the past now, like this really doesn't happen anymore. I tend to tell people I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I've had different reactions from different people. My mum, her reactions have even changed. A few times she's been quite like easygoing and being like, it's okay, Heath, you're fine, don't worry. Another time she'd be like, you can breathe. You're talking to me right now, you're breathing, just slow it down. I'm so out of breath because I'm thinking of panic attacks and I'm not getting enough air in. Oh, it's so silly. I'm not having a panic attack. As I say, I don't really have them anymore. I just need to like calm my breathing a little bit. The best tip that I've ever had for my personal panic attacks was to breathe out. Just breathing out. Yeah. And at the time when Mum told me, I was like, I felt like she was being patronising and that she didn't think that I was trying hard enough, and that it was like, of course I'm breathing out. But no, it was true. As time went by and it, you know, kept coming up, I realised that no, I wasn't breathing enough. You know, I'd be there going, but do you hear? I'm not exhaling enough. I'm focused so much on inhaling that I'm forgetting that I need to let my body exhale and to really release all of that air from my lungs. So nowadays, when I do feel like I'm getting the first signs of a panic attack, when I'm on step 1 or step 2, I concentrate less on breathing in and more on breathing out. So I just kind of get myself comfortable. I may close my eyes and I just breathe in. And just breathe out completely. I make sure that all of the air is out of my lungs. The first couple of times that I actually did this, I noticed that when I breathe out, it's like I'm getting closer and closer to my fear, and that's because I'm confronting it. Makes me wonder whether I should confront spiders so that I can actually get over them, because this got me over my panic attacks, confronting my fear of not having air in my lungs. So maybe holding a spider in my hand would help things. I perceive this as different from meditation. Yes, meditation is great, but it's more about a state of mind and it's just aware of your breathing generally. Whereas this was kind of, for me, it's more about getting just 1 or 2 breathe in, breathe out, and just focusing on getting all the air out. It's not about thinking about anything or nothing. It's about just get that air out of your lungs and stop thinking that you can't breathe. So that's it really. I pretty much analysed my panic attacks into 5 steps, with the intention being never to get rid of the panic attack completely. It's about controlling it. It's about accepting I am feeling uneasy and panicky right now and I need to go back a step. It's not about going all the way back to step 0. It's about going, I need to get from step 3 to step 2. And I found that really useful. And I think the reason that it's useful is because it's for me. None of these steps relate necessarily to anyone else, and it's not anyone else's formula being put on me. It's about me analysing what my mind and body is like during a panic attack and being able to kind of go, Heather, what's the matter? As I say, I don't think I've cured them completely. I will still get steps 1 and 2, normally in a cinema, but I'm able, no one else knows about it, it's all in my head and I'm able to control it now. And you know, I'm really proud of that. But if you have panic or anxiety attacks, my biggest advice is if you're gonna have the panic and anxiety attacks anyway, you might as well get to know them. You know? You might as well get to know what you're doing so that you can learn how to stop it before it gets too late. Split it up so that it feels less of this big, ginormous, scary unknown to something that's very specific and very like, okay, I'm not that bad right now. I'm at step 2. I can go back. Or I'm at step 4. I'm not completely all the way there, but I can still go back. I can still control this. You know, it's a lot of mental strength, and I think people don't really get enough credit for getting over panic attacks. Or for just dealing with them generally. Like, it's a hell of a scary thing. You may not be able to cure them completely, but you can control them. You absolutely can. And that's something else that you should tell yourself is, I can control this. I can stop this panic attack or anxiety attack right now, right in this moment. It's believing in yourself, as cheesy as it sounds. It's true. It's believing in yourself in that moment that you can control it. You don't need to be saved. It's always nice to know that someone's there to help you, but you can do it. Speaking of you, I need to change a battery in you. You're fine, I think. Are you? No, you're not. You both need changing. I've changed the battery now. Apologies if this video has been a little too niche. It's something I feel kind of passionate about, and I thought I'd share it with you. With the hopes that hopefully this will help someone out there. I just want to say as well that Panic and anxiety attacks are bound to be different to everyone, very personal. So, you know, I'm not saying that this advice is going to help every one of you, but I just thought it might be an interesting alternative to the other kind of methods that there are out there. And I just know that it worked for me. Please stay strong if you are going through these at the moment. I know that they can be really horrid and you can feel really helpless in that moment. Please try and believe in yourself that you can get over them and you can control them. You know, because I've gotten over them, and you know, you do feel hella strong afterwards. So it's a nice feeling to know that you can do it. Yeah. So that's it. I really hope you guys have a really good week. I really hope you like this video. Please let me know. What tips do you have for people who go through these sorts of attacks? What has worked for you? Maybe you can tell me what triggers yours off. Just try and stay positive about it. Try and stay humorous. Let me know if you have any video requests, anything you'd like me to talk about. And yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. So yeah, until next week, guys. Peace.